Hey, everybody, it looks like we're live. We're going to give it just a couple of seconds here for people to jump on. In the description of the video, I've left a link to the paper that we're going to go over today. I will drop that link again into the comment section if you give me just a Looks like I got kicked out there for a second. I'm back. Let's, I gotta share the screen. There's the study. And let me post a link to the study so you have it again. Hopefully I'm back. Jen, I hear you say that you lost me. Yes, I lost me too. Hopefully we are, looks like we're back live. So, someone could comment and just let me know that I'm back on. That would be great. Everything on my end looks like I'm back. You're back. Okay, cool. So thank you, as always, Jen. So today we are going to cover this research article that I've given you the link to. It's Mesenchymal Stem Cell-Derived Exosomes, a new therapeutic approach to arthritis. And what I want to point out right from the get-go is this paper is, it references, so this paper is from 2019. I don't see the exact date, but it's a new paper from 2019. And it references 122 other papers inside of the paper. So it is a review of other studies that have been done that look at the potential mechanism that these exosomes play specifically in osteoarthritis. So there's a bunch of study that it references here. What I like about it is that it covers everything from the second generation of regenerative medicine, which is the autologous stem cells, all the way up to the fourth generation, which is the exosomes, which we will talk a little bit about today. It does not talk about PRP, but there's plenty of studies that have been done on PRP, so we're not going to go there. So let's read the abstract. The abstract basically says that this is what the abstract says. Degenerative disorders of joints, especially osteoarthritis, result in persistent pain and disability and high cost to society. Nevertheless, the molecular mechanisms of OA or osteoarthritis have not been fully explained. OA is characterized by destruction of cartilage and loss of extracellular matrix. It's generally agreed that there's an association between pro-inflammatory cytokines and the development of osteoarthritis. I wanted to read that part specifically because this is where we can go back and talk about diet playing a role, because this is admitting that there are pro-inflammatory cytokines associated with the development of osteoarthritis. And the best way to bring on those pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are basically chemical markers that increase inflammation, the best way to bring those on is through diet and lifestyle. So if your diet is pro-inflammatory, you are more susceptible to developing osteoarthritis. Back to the paper, there's increased expression of matrix melanoproteinase, which is an enzyme, and we're not going to get into that. So Brenda, you just asked me how much treatment is. It all depends on what needs to be done and what the best path is. So my encouragement to you is to go ahead and make an appointment. We can do we can just sit down and talk and look at what your husband's knees look like and where we need to go from that direction. So back to the paper, it gets really deep into some of the scientific stuff. So I'm going to go about midway down through the abstracts. Exosomes isolated from various stem cells may contribute to tissue regeneration in the heart, limbs, skin, and other tissue. Recent studies indicated that exosomes or similar particles derived from MSCs may suppress osteoarthritic development. And in these papers that they reference, they actually talk about how it actually can help regenerate and regrow new tissue. In this paper, we highlight the likely mechanisms of actions of exosomes in osteoarthritis. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip all the way to the conclusion. Again, this is a synopsis of 122 different studies, but the conclusion says exosomes carry out many different functions in organisms that include repair of tissue injuries, regulation of immune response, and inhibition of inflammation. So that is what I've been teaching, or that I've been preaching for the last 3 years since we've been doing regenerative medicine. Due to their ability to repair damaged tissues, MSC-derived exosomes have been widely studied in regenerative medicine. The improvement in tissue homeostasis caused by MSCs can be produced by cell-to-cell direct interaction and also by secretion of soluble factors. Exosomes are a kind of soluble biological marker isolated from MSCs. Again, I'm just kind of skipping through some of the sciencey, real deep stuff here. This review has presented the evidence for MSC-derived exosomes as a new approach to cell-free treatment of OA and joint damage. It is clear that numerous additional investigations must be performed to prove the effectiveness and feasibility of MSC-derived exosomes in the therapy of osteoarthritic patients. So the conclusion basically just says then that there is some evidence that this is working. We certainly see that here on the clinical setting. And at the end of it, it says the same thing that just about every other study says, that it's clear that more studies need to be done. The reason why I bring this up now is because there are people who want to see absolute evidence that it's going to work for them, and I completely understand that. But it's if you're going to wait for that evidence to come, you're going to be waiting for a while. And for those people that, you know, they want to just try this, then it is absolutely available to them. That's what we're doing now. So let's go back. And the first thing I want to do is I want to define, well, first off, what they do is this paper is they go back after the introduction, and they talk about on page 2, they talk about some of the two different types of stem cell therapies. They talk about stem cell trials that were done with autologous stem cells and the difference that they made. Then they go in and talk about stem cells that come from umbilical cords and the difference they made. And then it says at the second half of page 2, the crucial role MSC-derived exosomes for the regulation of cell migration, proliferation, differentiation, and extracellular matrix synthesis has been increasingly supported by recent findings. So there's more studies that are saying that we're helping with inflammation, we're helping with tissue regeneration, we're helping to suppress and stop the advance of osteoarthritis. But the thing I want to get to is the picture that I actually have on your screen. So if you're actually looking at the study, it's on page 3. What is an exosome? Well, I don't know how well you guys can see this on your screen. It's kind of small on mine, but I can cheat and look at the actual paper because it's sitting here in front of me. This middle part here actually is representative of a stem cell, and an exosome is a chemical messenger or a chemical packet that is released by the stem cell. So basically what the thing is saying is we've seen what stem cells can do. We've seen what their limitations are. And now there's this whole, I don't even want to call it new because it's been around for a little while, this whole exosome approach where we actually just take the stem cell, the exosomes from the stem cells, and apply that into therapy. And it helps with gene expression. It helps with downstream function. I'm reading this directly from page 4. Changes in gene expression, downstream function, and process-related physiology or pathology may be caused by actions of exosome on a recipient cell. It goes in and talks about how they actually took some patients that had known pathology, took the exosomes from those patients with the known pathology, made the pathology worse. Then they took exosomes from mesenchymal stem cells from umbilical cords and used those as well, and saw that they actually had an anti-inflammatory effect. They had a regenerative effect, and they had actually slowed osteoarthritis and got bone to regrow. Sorry, my nose itches. Something's in the air. The wind's always blowing in Idaho. But anyway, so at the bottom of page 5, although osteoarthritis is commonly regarded as a degenerative disease, recent work has proposed that low-grade inflammatory processes are able to induce disease symptoms and promote the progression of disease. MSCs are able to promote the regeneration of joint components through their 2 secretory functions as anti-inflammatories and as trophic factors. Again, this is still just backing up what we're saying. that we're now on to the 4th generation of stem cell product, which is the exosomes themselves. This paper has, as I said before, has 122 other studies that it has referenced that are all saying the same, basically the same thing, that with stem cell exosomes, we're reducing inflammation, we're helping to modulate the immune system, we're helping to regrow, regenerate new tissue. I'm not going to stay on very long today. We've got to get patients going here this afternoon, but you've got the paper. Please keep the questions coming. If you need some more specific answers, we're more than happy. If you just message us or call us, we're happy to sit down with you and say, okay, let's look at the big picture here. What do we need to do? Where do we need to go from here? So that's that study for today. If you have one you'd like me to review, I'm happy to do that. We are here every Tuesday. We try to do this at 1 o'clock. So I appreciate your participation today, everyone. And I am going to sign off and say thank you. And we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.